Okay, students. So let's start this beautiful day with this beautiful quote. Education is the key to unlocking the world's passport to our freedom. I request Dr. Mahesh Kumar sir to escort all the dignitaries onto the stage. Good morning to all dignitaries, guests, and dear students. With great joy and immense exultation, I, Anusha, Assistant Professor, feel privileged to extend my warm welcome to all presented here for the inaugural function of our first MCA batch 2022-24. So it has become a regular aspect and a part of a community institute of management studies to update ourselves with the growing demand in the education sector. In this aspect, inauguration ceremony is held every year to educate the new batch of students about the institution's growth in academic and the co-curricular field. So prayer is an invocation of the heart, calling forth of a divine energies to be manifested in one's life. Time spent in a prayer refreshes, renews, and strengthens. Before the inauguration, let us invoke Goddess Ganesha by a prayer. I now call upon Miss Pallavi M, third semester MBA, to lead us into a prayer.
ಕೊಡುವರ ಸಿಂಧೂರವದನ ಇಂದುಧರಾತ್ಮಜ ವಂದಿಸುವೆನು ನಾ ಇಂದುಧರಾತ್ಮಜ ವಂದಿಸುವೆನು ನಾ ಸಿಂಧೂರವದನ ಕೊಡುವರ ಸಿಂಧೂರವದನ ಮುದ ಮುನಿ ಮತಾಟೋಧಿ ಚಂದ್ರ ಜಗತ ಕಥಾ ಶ್ರವಣದಿ ಕರುಣಿಸೆ ಮಗೆ ಸಿದ್ಧಿಯನ್ನು ಕಾರ್ಯದರೆ ಸಿಂಧೂರವದನ ಕೊಡುವರ ಸಿಂಧೂರವದನ ಇಂದುಧರಾತ್ಮಜ ವಂದಿಸುವೆನು ನಾ ಇಂದುಧರಾತ್ಮಜ ವಂದಿಸುವೆನು ನಾ ಸಿಂಧೂರವದನ ಕೊಡುವರ ಸಿಂಧೂರವದನ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Thank you, Pallavi. Now I call upon Dr. Mahesh Kumar KR, Director of Community Institute of Management Studies, to give a welcome speech.
Very good morning to all dignitaries on the dais and all present here today. Quote from Abraham Lincoln: "The best way to predict your future is to create it." Unquote. Education is a lifelong journey. The learning never stops. There are always new things to discover, new ways to improve ourselves, and new challenges to face. Today, it is my honor to address the grand gathering on the occasion of inauguration of first MCA batch 2022-24 of CIMS Village. We are indeed honored to have Sri Ramkumar V, CEO and founder, Karan Software Technologies Private Limited, Bangalore, as our guest of honor for this inaugural function. He is very talented IT professional, versatile personality, leading a team of over 500 employees. He is passionate, recognized leader with over 28 years of experience in the field of information technology. He also worked with top IT companies like Wipro for about 18 years at level management. I welcome you, sir. On behalf of CIMS family, now I request Secretary Sir to give a bouquet and welcome him on behalf of all of us here today. We also welcome our beloved Chairman, Community Center Group of Education Institutions, Sahakara Ratna, Sri A.M. Nagaraj Sir. He is a visionary leader. He believes in setting high standards and quality for achieving and also achieves the same with perfection. He motivates us and guides us in right direction in all of our activities. Hearty welcome to you, sir. I request our Secretary, sir, to give a bouquet and welcome him on behalf of all of us. Pleased to have Sri Chikaya, Secretary, Community Center Group of Education Institutions. He is Kempegoda awardee, young at heart and dynamic personality, who always encourages all of us in all of our activities and guides us in right direction. He is with us today for this inaugural function. Welcome to you, sir. I request Bhagirathna ma'am, coordinator for MBA, to give a bouquet and welcome him on behalf of all of us here today. I would like to also welcome Dr. Manjula P.S., HOD of MCA department, this function. I request Bhagya ma'am to welcome her. Hearty welcome to you, ma'am. I also take the privilege of welcoming all the faculty members of CIMS, and also welcome my dear students, parents, and esteemed colleagues, special invitees, media persons, and journalists to this function on behalf of CIMS family. I would like to also welcome Dr. Dharmendra Kumar sir, Principal, Community Institute of Commerce and Management Studies, on behalf of all of us here today. I request Mamta ma'am to welcome Dharmendra sir. Thank you, ma'am. To go on further, destiny is not a matter of chance, it's a matter of choice. Yes, dear students, you have made a right choice in choosing this college. You have chosen this wonderful place of learning. At the very outset, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome and congratulate all the students who have entered into this temple of knowledge. The education at large and tremendously young aspirants has now become its greatest strength of today. Education is revolutionizing not just business but also the governance in everyday life. Students, it is important for you to know about legacy of this great institution. Understanding the need of elementary education for independent India, the Community Center group of institutions founded in the year 1956 under Mysore State Societies Registration Act and started with Community Center Nursery English School, Community Center Senior English Primary School, and Community Center High School in Jayanagar with the aid of government. These institutions are run based on equality being one of the driving principles. The trust is providing quality education to more than 2,500 from KG to PG who are from all walks of life from then till today. Sri Kemnagar sir has become president in 1993. Likewise, Sri Chikaya sir has become a secretary in the year 2001. Currently, the community center is now run under the able leadership and visionary guidance of Sri Kemnagar sir and Sri Chikaya sir. Visionary leadership of Sri Kemnagar sir has helped community center group of institutions to achieve greater heights and also made CIMS a famous education destination in Bangalore for higher studies. The year 2007 being carved in golden letters in the history of community center because new educational blocks with modern infrastructure were constructed for starting like the community center pre-university college, community institute of commerce and management studies with various degree courses affiliated to Bangalore University and community institute of management studies recognized by all India Council for Education AICT New Delhi. Community Center Group of Education Institutions celebrated Diamond Jubilee in a very grand manner on 27th and 28th December 2019 for the guidance of our visionary leader Sri K.M. Nagaraj sir. In 2022, another post-graduation course MCA has been added, approved by AICTE New Delhi, is introduced in our college with 120 seats intake. I heartily welcome all the fresher students to our college and ensure that we will do everything possible to equip you the best possible teaching resources, practical exposure, and training methods so that you are able to shape up your life and career for a challenging world out there. In our college, we believe in inspiring minds, improving their intellectual capacity, and building characters with our students, which our students will treasure for their lifetime. Additionally, we endeavor to inculcate social responsibilities also. I am proud to say that our MBA batches from last 15 years has got very good results at the university level till today, including 100% results in MBA exams 3 times is a record by itself, and we are going to continue to give the same support for you people also, and I expect the same spirit spark from you all. In the year 2015, Bangalore University International Conference for the Human Service to Education, both Sri K.M. Nagaraj sir, President, and Sri Chikaya sir, Secretary, was awarded with Best Educational Excellence Award and felicitated by the then Vice Chancellor of Bangalore University, Dr. Thimmegowda sir. You, the graduates, may be technically sound, but we will hone you with all the new skills required by the industry to be in the future entrepreneurs and leaders also. Post graduation courses are the gateway for many opportunities for employment. It gives a better future for you and the society as well. The course will help you to develop independent thinking. It will give you an opportunity to make your choices. Much more than knowledge, attitude, what makes successful people succeed. To be a successful person, you need to have a growth mindset. You need to push yourself from your comfort zone. Learning process here in the college will push you out of your comfort zone and facilitate a ground, the growth mindset. We ensure that education we offer is truly transparent and empowering. At CIMS, various curricular, co-curricular and extracurricular activities are organized. And also English enhancement classes, value-added programs, etc. Further, I recommend you all to participate in interclass and college competitions, industrial visits, etc. Hence, I ask you to grab these opportunities available in the campus to its fullest extent. The college provides replacement training to all the students and also provide job opportunities in multinational companies. More than 100 companies are associated with our college and we achieved 87% placement in the previous year also. I pray God to bless you all to make your desires and dreams come true and bring great laurels to this institution. Wishing all the best for your journey with us and further. Flag of CIMS flying. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. I extend my warm welcome to Dr. Mahesh Kumar Kaya, Director. I request our Secretary, sir, to welcome him. Thank you, sir. Darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Now I invite our chief guest, Sri Ram Kumar V, Chairman Sri K.M. Nagaraj sir, Secretary Sri Chikaya sir, and Director to join hands for a lamp lighting. Here, education can truly change the world. Without education and the dedicated teachers, it would not have been possible for us as a society to come this far. I request Mr. Rakesh TN, Assistant Professor, to introduce the MCA faculty members.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning to everyone. Honorable Chief Guest of the Day, Sri Ram Kumar sir. Honorable Chairman, Sri K.M. Nagaraj sir. Honorable Secretary, Sri Chikaya sir. Respected Director, Sri Mahesh Kumar sir. Respected HOD, Sri Manjula ma'am. My dear teachers, students, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Community Center, this is Rakesh TN, Assistant Professor, welcoming you all to this August gathering. I extend a very warm and hearty welcome to all of you present here. It is my pleasure to introduce to you all our faculty members of MCA department. I would request our chief guest Sri Ram Kumar sir to felicitate our MCA faculties. I would like to welcome on board Dr. Manjula PS. Dr. Manjula joins CIMS as HOD and Associate Professor. Having specialized in teaching networking and Java for 17 years, Dr. Manjula has completed her MCA, MTech and PhD. We welcome you, Dr. Manjula ma'am. Next, we would like to welcome Mrs. Jyotishwari. Mrs. Jyotishwari is associated with community center institutions since 11 years, and prior to teaching, she had worked in an IT company for 2.5 years. Mrs. Jyotishwari has done her MCA. She is specialized in teaching computer applications. We welcome you to CIMS family, ma'am. We now welcome Mrs. Sumati HR. Mrs. Sumati joins CIMS as Assistant Professor and having specialized in teaching quantum communications for 21 years. Mrs. Sumati has completed her MTech and she is presently pursuing her PhD. We welcome you on board, ma'am. We now welcome Mr. Surendra HD. Mr. Surendra joins CIMS as Assistant Professor. Mr. Surendra has 18 years of teaching experience with specialized subjects like microprocessor and OOPS. Mr. Surendra has done MCA and MPhil. We now welcome Mrs. Kalyani. Mrs. Kalyani has completed her MCA and is qualified KSET. Mrs. Kalyani has 8 years of experience in teaching database subjects. She joins CIMS family as Assistant Professor. We now welcome Mrs. Geeta AM. Mrs. Geeta has done her MSc and MPhil and she has 18 years of teaching experience. She joins CIMS as Assistant Professor and is specialized in teaching blockchain technology. We now welcome Mrs. Sunita to CIMS. Mrs. Sunita has to her credit 7 years of experience and she is with Community Center for the past 5 years working as lab instructor. Mrs. Sunita has done her BCA and is presently pursuing MCA. Thank you, sir. We once again welcome all the teaching staff to today's gathering. Thank you.
Thank you, Rakesh sir. Now I call upon Mrs. Mamta BS, Placement and Admission Head, to introduce our Chief Guest, Sri Ram Kumar V, CEO and Founder, Tarang Software Technologies. Thank you, Anusha ma'am. Good morning, one and all present here. I am profoundly delighted and honored to take an opportunity to introduce the chief guest for the day. He is none other than Mr. Ram Kumar V, CEO and founder of Tarang Software Technologies, Bengaluru, which is one of the topmost and well-known company in electronic payment system, having its corporate office in Whitefield, Bangalore, and also branch in USA. We are very grateful to Mr. Ram Kumar for accepting our invitation and marking his presence here. Mr. Ram Kumar has more than 40 years of experience in IT industry. In the year 1977, he completed his graduation in Instrument Technology from Madras Institute of Technology. Later, he completed his MBA from IIM Ahmedabad. Mr. Ram Kumar joined Wipro and worked 18 years in Wipro Infotech and Wipro Technologies between 1982 to 2000. He started his career as a software engineer and later he was promoted as CEO for Wipro E-Enabling Division and was directly reporting to Mr. Ajim Premji, Chairman, Wipro Limited. Mr. Ramkumar wanted to fulfill his dream of becoming entrepreneur and hence he left Wipro and in the year 2000 founded a company by name Karan Software Technologies which is now 23 years old and a leader in electronic payment systems. Some of his landmark achievements are built a foreign exchange dealer trading and back office system as a software engineer and had it implemented in many banks in India between 1982 to 85. Turned around a loss-making Pune branch to one of the highest performing branches in Western region between 1987 to 89. Became Chief Executive of Solutions and System Integration Division Wipro Infotech in 1995. Moved to the corporate office under Ajit Premji and implemented Six Sigma across the entire Wipro corporation. Launched the e-enabling division consisting of e-commerce, data warehousing, ERP, CRM, and technical services in 1999. Became the entrepreneur by starting his own company, Karan Software, in the year 2000. Once again, on behalf of CIMS, I welcome you, sir. Sir's speech will be motivational for the students who want to be like him one day. So we would be delighted to hear your expertise and knowledge in every way possible. So without consuming much time, I would like to call upon Mr. Ramkumar V to enlighten us with his words of true wisdom. Sir.
Thank you, Mamta, for the introduction. And respected Chairman, Mr. Nagaraj, Dr. Mahesh Kumar, and Mr. Chikaya as well. So, thank you all for inviting me to this inaugural function of your first MCA. Fortunately, I came at 9:30 and I got a good feel for CIMS, the history, and from KG to PG, right? So that was the catchword that I really caught, and then found that you had built up an institute of 65 years where you are having all the courses up to PUC, then undergraduate, then postgraduate, MBA, and then you have launched MCA. So, and I can see the presence of Mr. Nagaraj, inspiring it must have been for all of you over all these years. But today he has insisted and made it a point to come and be with you all in your inaugural batch. I also spent time with two HODs, HOD Bhagya of MBA and HOD Majla of MCA, and one of the faculty members in MCA, because I wanted to understand whom I'm talking to. Okay, so I've got a very good understanding of what background you're coming from. Large number of you seem to be from BCA in CIMS itself, and then a couple of them from non-BCA, and what all courses are being taught in the first sem, second, third, and fourth. I understood all that well, and then of course, after meeting all these people, I think it was a fantastic band which I saw, young boys and girls. What a beautiful band it was. So, one cannot expect a warmer welcome in an educational institution. And I only feel ashamed. I've been living in Bangalore for 25 years, and I feel a little shy and admit that I've never come here before. And therefore, I must first thank all of you, Mamta ji and the chairman, and all of you for inviting me here. And I wish I can do justice and, help you all on your journey, not just now, but going forward as well. Okay, so it's a great privilege, honor. So what I'm going to do is I'd like to speak for about 20 minutes and 10 minutes, because now I found out that you're all not, initially I didn't understand. I thought maybe you're a little bit green behind the ears in terms of IT and software. So now I figured out, no, all of you are BCAs, you know quite a bit. Okay, so you must be having lots of questions. So 10 minutes are for you. So don't feel shy, and ask whatever you want to ask, because what I do. I only work with all of you, maybe with a little more experience, day in, day out. That's all I do for a living. And I enjoy myself. So, so let me tell you a little bit only. I don't want to talk about my journey, but for you to understand. So when I started my journey in Wipro 1982, for 5-6 years, I was a software developer, proper software developer. So I had developed applications, banking applications, insurance applications, end to end. So I know very well what application development is all about. And obviously, since I had an MBA background, aspiration got the better of me, and I decided, I moved into sales and marketing. So that was the journey I took, which 14 years later, I started. I was a CEO of a division with 300 people, and then 4-5 years later, I was working directly with Mr. Premji, and then I said, look, one day I should not be like this man, right? So that's when I decided that I will start my own company. Okay, so that was the journey. So I know software. Okay, today I'm nearing 70, and I'm still very passionate about IT and software and applications and customer. Okay, and that's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me alive, and that's what enables me to interact with people like you uh, in my company and outside. Okay, so there is no dull moment. So the thing here is, which I will repeat again and again, is there is just no dull moment in this IT industry. There isn't, because every year, every 6 months, something is different, something is happening, and something is changing. So in many industries in the past, I have seen things have not changed much. It will be the same thing happening year after year. If you go to a manufacturing shop floor, you go to a retail, it's the same thing happening. Fortunately, that's not the case in IT at all, right? What happened 5 years back and what's happening now will be completely different. Okay, not completely. The people build on what has already happened, and new things start getting built on top of that. And therefore, what happens when things are changing so rapidly? People involved in that industry have to change, right? You have to upgrade yourself. You have to learn more. You have to be up to date. You cannot afford to get obsolete. So what keeps me awake is, I said, okay, fine. I've spent 40 years in IT. Sometimes I ask myself, oh, that 40 years, okay, fine, that's gone. But today people there talk about artificial intelligence, they talk about cloud computing. I hope and I am able to understand it. I'm able to participate with people like you and guide them, mentor them, and I hope I'm able to deliver to my customers. So whether you are a young 23, 24-year-old like you doing MCA, or an old person like me, old hag like me, we all are have to be on our toes, otherwise you get left behind. How can I interact with young people in my company if I don't know cloud computing, if I don't know artificial intelligence? Okay, so that is what keeps this industry very different, and so there is change. Therefore, there is change, and we are all part of that industry, and therefore we have to continuously keep evolving. Now, because of this change, that is the reason why the IT developer, the IT engineer is so highly valued, right? It's so highly valued because the change is so high. They expect that these people keep themselves abreast of what is happening, and therefore getting such people to come and work with on their projects is extremely important for all organizations. Now, the thing here is that, okay, you're all, sometimes you have the advantage of both uh, age and when you are passing out. Because, okay, do you want to worry about what happened in this industry 20 years back? There were mainframe computers, right? And there was a different type of operating system, right? Do you want to worry about it? Not really, right? You can cut to the chase and say, I'm interested in what is current, what is happening in the last 2-3 years, and what is going to happen. I have to learn Android, I have to learn iOS, I have to learn Angular, I have to learn React, I have to learn Java, I have to learn Python, right? So you can say, I want to learn cloud. So you can learn all this. Cloud was not there 5 years, 6 years back. It's big as it is today. So why you want to bother about all that? You can just learn what is there today, current, and understand that, okay, this will last for another 5 years and then it will change again. It will start building again. Okay. So, and then, as I was chatting with your Manjula ma'am as well as your other faculty in this thing. So one of the things, some of the discussions we had was that, you know, you have to learn front end, you have the UI. Okay, so you have to learn UI, which is either Angular, JavaScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. Then some people can focus on backend, Java, and the data structures, database, which is all being focused on. So one of the points I will say is, in a 2-year course and you're just coming out, you can't be a jack of all trades. So I think you can be a good UI person, right? HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Angular, or you can be a good Java and backend person. Okay, that's what you can achieve in 2 years. Come out properly, do this, but there is a roadmap ahead, because what the industry says, can I have both the skills in the same person? Right? They want full stack. Okay, but full stack is not easy to achieve, right? You have to know Java in the backend, you have to know UI. It's not easy. So it has to be step by step. So today you can pass out saying, I know this, but that appetite to learn the other things should also be there with you, right? And that is too fundamental in this industry, right? And it is not easy, because even in my company, I notice that people who have learned Java want to remain in Java. They don't want to learn the front end. They don't want to learn UI. And the person who is good in UI, HTML, CSS, he is there. He doesn't want to learn Java in the backend. So these kind of polarizations are there. So as young people coming out, and me having the advantage of speaking to people who are still starting the journey, I will say, please have an open mind. Start like this, and down the line, start building on those skills. The mind must be ready to learn more and more and get into newer areas. So why people who are in the front end don't go into Java in the back end? After some time, it becomes comfort zone, right? Your customer is saying, please deliver this Angular and UI and HTML and all of them. I'll give you 1 week, deliver it. So already there's a lot of pressure. So on top of that, if you are supposed to know backend and Java, it becomes a bit of a challenge. But that's why we are in this industry. In this industry, there's no such thing as saying, oh, I know everything, now I can just sit and relax. No, somebody will pull the rug under your feet and prove that there's a lot more to learn. Okay. So, okay, so there has to be a risk reward, right? So I'm saying, okay, you have to know this, you have to know backend, you have to know this. So you say, why this man is taxing me and asking me to know everything? There is a reward, because then you are the most sought after people in the industry. Firms will want you, right? They say, this guy, see, we don't have to hire an Angular guy and a Java guy. This person knows Angular and Java. Let me hire him. And he will say, I'll pay you more also. Instead of hiring 2 people, I'll hire 1 person. Okay. So what is the reward? So it's an industry which is changing. There's a lot of work, a lot of new things to be continuously learned. So what are the upsides? The upsides are, first, you have a long career. And I can tell you, building a career till the age of 58 and 60 is not easy. Right? In many other industries I have seen, right? It can be retail, it can be finance, it can be many things. You can, I mean, like, as you grow in an organization, 40, 45, 50, and you grow and become VP, this, that, etc. After some time, you'll find, am I really of that much value to my employer? But in the IT industry, with so much change happening, and you being a part of that change, right? You can keep yourself having a career and growing and learning all the way up to 60, and have no threat in terms of saying, is there a downturn or an upturn? See, even in the downturn, still what happens is the demand for the IT engineer comes down, but the demand is still there. So as soon as some recession goes away, you'll find the market goes abuzz, and they all want these kind of people. Why is the demand so high? You know why the demand is so high today in IT? It is because all companies, right, want IT people. Whether it's a Uber, an Ola, Oyo Hotel, or an electric car manufacturer, or a Walmart, or an Amazon, they all want IT people to come and do their web programming, and to set up all their IT systems, and to write their code. It is not just Wipro, Infosys, and TCS who are hiring. All these firms want IT developers, because all businesses are technology enabled today. So you can see, who's your potential employer. It's anybody and everybody, if you have the right skill. They are all willing to pay you well. So apart from these kind of companies, then you have the Wipro, the TCS, the Accenture, and all of these IBMs, all of them who are also hiring. Today there are 50 lakh people working in the IT industry in India. So obviously, when the demand is very high, compensations are very high, which is what we all are here for, right? So you're all interested. What careers is there ahead of me? How well can I do? How well can I earn? So that's what you can do. You can earn well, and therefore, as a result of earning well, you can live well, and you can bring up your families. All of that. Now, the other thing is, apart from this, if you, I've seen over the last 25 years, I used to find, neighbors and many others, relatives and all of them. So all of them, and in India, like we have your MCA and getting inaugurated, IT is big in India. People study IT, and where do they go and work? They go and work in the US, they work in UK, they work in different countries abroad. Then over a period of time, I've seen them becoming a green card holders, citizens, and things like that. So the entire life of that family changes when the young person then goes out abroad and starts working. So that is you visit countries that you have going and doing your client work, or then you start working there. So okay, now one of the points that I have seen in the organization is, so there is pressure. So it's not a bed of roses, right? So you earn well, you grow abroad, etc. But there is pressure. The pressure comes because things move very fast in IT, right? Because of WhatsApp and Skype and email, right? And mobile. Forget everything. It's mobile. So the pressure to deliver software has gone up 10 times in the last 2-3 years. You know why? I've seen that a client says, okay, this project is very important. Please deliver it to me in 5 days' time. And then once it is delivered, that client is now, earlier what used to happen, he will send a mail to the technical lead will send it to the developer. Now he calls the developer directly on the mobile phone and says, look, there is a bug in your software, it's not working. So there is no hierarchy anymore. Customer says, I wanted the software, you gave me the software, Tarang, but now there is a problem in the software, so he's calling the developer directly. But I mean, he doesn't worry, right? The developer may be having lunch at 1 o'clock, but he's calling him and saying, look, can you fix the bug? So I have seen this pressure, and sometimes the customer says, I need it definitely on Friday evening. And Friday evening is close of business, right? In the IT industry, we have the luxury of not working on Saturday, Sunday, right? Unlike you all, where you all work 6 days of the week here. So what happens is, when you have to deliver like that, sometimes I have to tell the guys, please come on Saturday and work, right? So that pressure point is there in the IT industry, because what you are doing is not general purpose, right? Somebody says, deliver this web program and give it to me. I have my business to run. So it becomes very, very critical for them, and therefore they put pressure on the who, not on the CEO of the company. They put pressure on the developer directly. There's a WhatsApp message, there is a phone call which says, please, there is a bug, sort it out. But who is the important person there? Is the developer. You're talking to him, and they will bow to him, and they will roll the red carpet to the developer, which they won't do to me, because the developer did the work. Okay, so that's the valued position that you are all having in the industry. Okay. One angle in the earlier days which I have seen neglected is communication skills. When I used to hire people 10 years, 15 years back, I found people were never focusing on that, young people. That has changed. People communicate well in English today. And that's one thing I kept asking all your faculty. They say you all communicate well, but put a premium on that. Make sure you communicate well in English. You are able to present, without getting worried in front of, because invariably I've seen, right, a big discussion with a customer. Some developer is talking to the customer, and the customer is in Mountain View. Customer is in Boston. So you have to understand him, he has to understand you, and you have to be bold, because you are the one who has done the coding and the development. So communication skills, and that gives you a jump. If you are I've seen, sometimes we find very young people communicating very well. So I said, yeah, put him on the call, because he's articulate, and the customer can understand him, and he's speaking so confidently and boldly. So there's a good growth. Teamwork obviously is very important, as it is everywhere. Now, one thing is that, if you go to our website, Tarang's website, we're not an IT company alone. If you see, we are actually a digital payment company. We are 22 years old. So as the company progresses, you are not just an IT company, you have to learn the business domain. It can be digital payment, it can be retail, it can be manufacturing. You have to learn the business domain. So today you are passing out, you will be a cloud engineer, you will be an Angular engineer. or a Java engineer, but maybe 10 years from now, you have to learn some domain. Okay, so then because then you go into a different stream and a different type of specialization. I also want to talk specifically to the girls and the ladies in this organ, the girls in this batch. Okay, some of the best staff in my company are all girls. Okay, there are quite a few of them, and what I specifically, one of my focus areas, and they've all been with me for 10, 15 years. They joined. Okay, so they joined me as a developer. They grew to become a senior developer, a technical lead, and an architect. They joined me as single. They got married. They had a child, went into maternity, had a second child, went into maternity again, and then still are with me. I specifically make this a point because I don't want any of the. So I want people, all girls must understand that they must have a career. You are learning IT, so you should plan your career just like all of us do. We don't differentiate in the company between a boy and a girl. Everyone should have the same career. But girls, yes, you have a different life after you get married. There's a home, you are a homemaker, you are a wife, you are a spouse, and then you are having children and everything. So your smartness lies in managing that as well. Because I have to keep doing this with my staff, right? So I tell them that's fine. I understand your child is 6 months old, so I will put you on a less light project, right? And I will handhold you till your child is 1.5. After that, I will say you travel, you have to work as late as the boys do. So you have to make sure you marry correctly and you are able to contain your career and continue for a long while. So that is one specific point which I specifically wanted to make because there are 30-40% of the staff in any company are women today. And frankly, I think everywhere women can be bold, they can speak, and they can be heard, and so on and so forth. Now, one other point is that it's why was I not a I started my career in development. Fine, as an MBA, I went into sales and marketing. Let me also be honest. I was not a brilliant developer. To make my code to work, I had to work more and more hours because there were bugs in the code. So the point I'm trying to make is not all of us need to be brilliant in this IT industry. You need to work hard. You need to understand your mistakes and correct them. Okay. And there are different ways in which, you know, all five fingers of the hand are not the same. No? Somebody can be a great developer. Somebody can be a great QA. Somebody can be great in customer service and communication. Right. So there are different channels in which you can take your career. All of you don't become Java developers or Angular developers. So each of you figure out your strengths before your course is over and take yourself in the right direction. So, I will just want to close my speech at this point and say that I think this is, I feel excited to be with all of you. I wish I were a student again and I can come and sit and learn cloud computing and AI and Python, which you are all teaching. So enjoy your journey, burn the midnight candle, do lots of projects, be good in what you are learning over the next 2 years. At the end of 2 years, if I interview somebody through my team, you must say, yeah, good Java programmer, good Angular programmer, right? Okay, and I will be very happy if any of you want to do projects with Tarang. I'll be most happy having been invited here to be with all of you. But I would like to take a few questions. I can hear them. You can talk. It's okay. Any questions? Ask some questions. Yeah, go ahead. I think you put your hand. No? Okay. So, how many of you have a clear idea of what language or direction you want to take? Because I told you, you can learn Java, you can learn Angular, you can learn HTML, you can learn Python. So, any of you have, because you have many of, I think 99% I was told have done BCA. So, in BCA, you have foundation, right? You know what all of these are. So, you will go in depth. That's what Professor Manjula told me. Okay, fine. Maybe you're all a little shy, but anyway, I'm around. So if you can feel free to mingle with me and ask me any questions. But once again, it's been a pleasure and honor. I'll thank Sri Nagaraj and Dr. Mahesh Kumar, and all of you all for having invited me here. It's been it's an honor. It's more than an honor, actually. I feel very excited to be with here with all of you. I wish you well, and I hope on your journey over the next 2 years, if I have a chance to meet and interact with all of you, it will be my pleasure. Thank you all.
Hello, dear students. I think you should learn to pose questions also. See, our honorable guest expected you that you would pose some questions after hearing the speech. Can anyone try to do that? Kindly raise your hand. Anybody can pose a question with regard to the software technology or the upcoming changes? I think nobody.
Had multiple roles. You were as a developer, then you moved into sales, and then now you're the head and leading a company. Which is the best phase of your life, sir, and why?
I think the best phase of my entire career is what I value the most is as a developer. Because those 5, 6 years that I spent as a developer implementing the application, I got a good understanding of it and application and customer. And how it is to deliver an application to the customer. I used to work with LIC, the premium notice applications. I used to do for them. I worked in Dharwad, Kozhikode, and Nasik. 3 locations I had to implement, me and my colleague. So I used to round robin all of them, and I will not be allowed to leave the site unless that application is working by the branch manager. He will not allow me to leave. He says, unless it is working, I will sign it off, then only you go. So I learned it so well. And therefore, today when I work with all young people in different technologies, I have confidence. I not only have confidence, I enjoy it. And many times when they solve a problem or a bug, I really get excited. Right? So if you ask me honestly, that is and that is what is software industry all about. Right? And that is why we are all here and we all enjoy it. Right? So I would say that is the best phase.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But a general question, like, will AI ever replace humans? Then question.
Yeah. See, what I will say, your name please? Sushmita. So what I will say is, as young students, don't get worried about AI. Please know your Java coding or whatever properly yourselves, right? Don't depend on any outside tools to teach you, right? So so you learn everything properly when you are doing the coding and development. Don't use any outside tools. Okay. Now, if you see, as you are growing from developer to senior developer, and once you become with 10 years experience and you are managing a team and things like that, at that time you I feel that what the very low end of the work could get replaced, right, by AI. Right? That means, let's say that you want some code to be generated, right, for some API development. That code could get generated by a chat GPT or something, right? So it is possible that the very low level of any operation, right, whether it is this or any retail store or anything, could get replaced by AI because that knowledge is already there in a tool. So what all of us have to do, you have to go higher and higher. You have to upgrade yourself, which is why I'm saying if you have to also learn the business domain, you have to learn the language of the customer and things like that. But today if you see Microsoft and Google are all, Microsoft is investing heavily in AI. So that is the this industry. That's what keeps us all awake, right? We have to be sure that we are not caught on the wrong foot, right? But still, I say know the ground properly. Ground up, you must be sound and very good. Then as you go higher, you will say, look, I know all this. Now I will use a tool to do this because now I'm operating at this level. Okay. So there's nothing for us to get worried about. So, and as I said, to build all this AI, you also need good developers and all that.
We have been told. So you work closely. I mean, you have worked closely with Azim Premji. Like, what were your top five learnings working closely with him? Like, if we have these qualities, we will be successful in our life. Like, what were those qualities from that you learned from him?
Yeah. So it's a good question. I will say one first is a very high level of integrity he had, right? So he was very clear in his mind that he will never take shortcuts. He will do everything the right way. So that was, and then he had to imbibe it through the whole organization. So how does this manifest? It manifests itself in various ways when you run a company or you're an individual. So that is a plain transparency. The second is that very hardworking man. So one of the things I when I was working with him itself, I often felt, see, what was he? He had no education. He had not even done his engineering. So when I worked with him, I have seen one thing that he had no background whatsoever, right? No IT background whatsoever, zero. Okay, it was nothing. But you see, he was clear that, but he was I mean, he had no background, very hardworking man, right? So he will, if he doesn't know something, he will go and learn it properly, right? That's how we built it. So what was the company that he was having? He was having a Vanaspati business, right? That's all his father has left him. But in 1980, when IBM and Coca-Cola went out of India, he started the IT company, Wipro IT he started. So that kind of a, that is therefore that kind of, vision he was able to have, and he grasped that opportunity. So I said very hard work. I always used to feel he had a lot of chief executives working with him. He will know more about their business than the chief executive knows, because he will read all the reports, he will go into all the detail. And the third is that a lot of ambition, right? He always was never satisfied with only this. No, he always want to build a bigger company, better company, more people, right? And he will directly, in those days when I was there, he would never hesitate. No, in an audience like this, if he was sitting, he will not go and talk to the senior managers. He will go to the junior most developer, engineer, and will interact with them, because he knows they are the people who know the granular level. They have a knowledge about the company, what is good, what is bad, and you will pick it up from there. Okay, so these are the kind, and untiring in terms of his working with people and hiring people. He used to, every person in the first 20 years he used to hire himself along with the, but finally he will spend hours and hire the person. Thank you, nice questions.
Anybody else?
Sir, it's been 22 years you have started Tarang, sir. What are the major problems you are facing till now, sir?
Oh, good question. Okay, what are the major problems you face as an entrepreneur? First, first to hire good people. Okay, so when I started the company, to hire the first 3 4 people was a Herculean task. People will say, why we should join your company? Who are you? Where did you work? Have you raised money? Do you have money in your company? Right? So those are the questions to hire the first few people. So that was 22 years back. But that problem never changes. Huh? In last year, we could not hire people only. Why we could not hire? There was so much demand. We could not hire because demand was so high, supply was so little, right? So the same set of small pool of IT developers, right, are being chased by Accenture, TCS, IBM, Capgemini. Everybody is chasing them. And therefore, those guys started saying higher and higher and higher salaries. And we found it very difficult. We could not afford it, right? So that was the challenge in terms, one is hiring good talent. The second is getting customers, right? Because you run a company only when you have customers and when you have revenue, etc. Right? So that was the challenge in the early days. It is always there, but in the first 5 6 years, it is very intense, because they will say, "Never heard of your company, right? You are coming to US and trying to do business with me. How many people do you have in the company? How much funding have you got? What do you know? What kind of skills you have in your company? What domain you know?" They will ask all of those questions. That's the second, getting customers. The third is, when you run a company, you have to have revenues. Revenues means you have to have cash. and you have profit. So if you don't have cash, even today, what keeps me awake, right? Sometimes it happened 4 years back when you have to cut the payroll on the 30th of the month. The staff are expecting the salaries, right? You had a little problem in the previous 2 quarters. You lost some customers. You don't have the cash in the company to pay the payroll on the 30th. So if you don't have cash to pay the payroll, you know what will happen? People will leave. They'll say, oh, no, company is not doing well. I'm not getting paid. So that used to keep me awake. So willy-nilly, whatever happens. So there was a stage about 4 years back when I had the problem. First, we will say, please pay all the salaries to all the developers and all the junior staff. So only the higher level management, we will say, I can't pay on the 30th, I will pay on the 6th of the month. Because by then some customer money would have come. So running a company involves having revenues, cash, I would say cash. Cash is king. If you don't have cash, what will you do? You can't pay a supplier, you can't pay the staff, etc. So that is the challenge. Fourth is fine. I told many people we are very good in electronic payments today. Very good. But I'm not able to sleep just because of that. Because 4 years from now, I don't know what will happen. Will cryptocurrency wipe out a normal type of currency? What other changes will take place? Whereby if somebody will say, payments and all, forget it, yeah. Every Tom, Dick and Harry knows payments. So I have to worry about what will I be 4 years from now to still be a noticeable, recognizable, and a company with whom people can do business. So there is no such thing as, okay, things are fine, it's cool, it's happening. And as you can see, 2022 was like that, 2023 there is a downturn, 2024 will go up. So those are the business cycles that you have to contend with. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, my question is, what does it takes to reach from here to there? Means as a student to there where you are sitting right now.
Okay, so I will make the answer very easy. I define myself as a very mediocre person. Okay. So to go from there to here, it doesn't take all that much because I told you I'm not some brilliant Bill Gates or Larry Ellison or Steve Jobs. I'm not. I am as I said, I'm an ordinary average developer. But yes, because of my MBA background, I had a marketing skill. So I said, let me leverage on that, and that I moved in that direction. Okay. But if you ask me, what does it take? Okay, fine. At the end of, I know I had achieved something, became a chief executive, but I said, look, no, I want to be on my own. So there was an aspiration. So there were two paths, right? One easy path and a difficult path, right? The easy path was I'd spent 18 years in Wipro, just continue like that and all that. Other path was do something which you're on your own, and I didn't have any background in the family. Okay, I chose that path because somewhere I had learned that that my father taught me that when there are two paths in life, an easy path and the difficult path, always take the difficult path. You take the difficult path because that is where you can differentiate yourself. If you take the easy path, you cannot differentiate yourself. Okay. So anyway, to cut the long story short, all I'm saying is there must be some, as I said, you don't have to be brilliant. I'm an ordinary, mediocre guy. But I'm willing to work very hard. I'm willing to learn from any one of you and anyone here. I'm willing to learn all the time. I'm ready because I understand I'm at zero level. I have to learn. If I don't learn, then hey, nobody will talk to me. Okay. So that humility and realization I have for myself. It is not that I'm trying to project myself low. I am like that only. So, but you have the ability to learn and project this and learn. The second is you must have ambition, right? If you don't have ambition and aspiration, right? So I had that. So when I left Premji's company, I said, let me be like him. Nowhere like him, but that ambition and aspiration was there. So when you have that thing, see, when you reach for the stars, you will touch the sky. As simple as that. So always have an ambition which is sky high, and you will go somewhere. And you should not give up, right? Whether you're 24 years old or 55 years old, and you can see your chairman here. He's come to spend time with all of you. He's coming from his heart. It's coming from his mind, right? Why should he come? He can say, fine, we have launched one more wonderful course here. He is so thrilled to be with all of you. He has come because it is there. That ambition, aspiration, and desire, passion, it's there in his heart. So that kind of a, and see, even today, sometimes, I ask myself, okay, will I be like this 2 years, 3 years from now? It's only the passion that can take you there. If you have that passion to be a great developer, great salesman, whatever, no, that passion will take you through ups and downs and take you on and on. So I will say it is um, humility to want to learn more, and the passion and ambition which will ignite you.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, that was indeed motivating, and I'm sure all the students present here agree. We are honored and privileged to have you among us. Thank you very much, sir. I request our Honorable President, sir, and Secretary, sir, to felicitate our chief guest. Thank you, sir. I call upon Dr. Bhagyaratna, our professor, to introduce our chairman, Sri K.M. Nagaraj, sir. Thank you, Anisha. A dynamic leader of magnanimous benevolence. He is our strength, guiding force, and a perfectionist by nature. Sri K.M. Nagaraj sir hails from Kankanpada, Jayanagar, born to Sri L. Munirangappa and Srimati T. Rangamma. Has graduated from Bangalore University. He has been a dynamic leader since his college days. He was the General Secretary of Bangalore University Students' Council during 1973 and 74, participated and organized 7 NSS camps as student leader in Bangalore University. He was General Secretary for Karnataka Pradesh Preparatory Committee for 11th World Festival for Youth and Students held at Havana, Cuba. He has been a sports enthusiast. He represented Bangalore University in the Inter-University Kabaddi Championship during 1967 held at Jabalpur. Organized All India Invitation Kabaddi Tournament in memory of late Shri Sanjay Gandhi at Bangalore during 1981. In recognition to his dynamism and leadership, he was selected as an Indian delegate to the World Parliament for Peace Solidarity held at Sofia, the capital of Bulgaria in 1980, and also by Friends of Soviet Union participating in an international conference held at Moscow, USSR and Rome during 1982. He has been an active member of Karnataka Pradesh Congress Committee since his youth days and closely associated with all the eminent personalities of the party, from the then Prime Minister Iron Lady Srimati Indira Gandhi ji to the present party leaders at the central level, and from the then Chief Minister Sri Devaraj Aras to present leaders of KPCC at the state level. A kingmaker who has shaped political career of numerous political leaders of the present day. His philanthropic concern towards upliftment of the underprivileged in the society and providing quality education to meet the needs of all sections of the society led him towards the establishment of educational institutions of par excellence. He is the chairman of City Center Group of Educational Institutions, president of Kamala Nehru Makkala Mandira Educational Society, Bangalore, president of HB Samaja, Gandhi Bazar, Sri Padalamma Temple Trust, ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನಗಳ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿ ಸಂಘ, ಶ್ರೀ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಹಳ್ಳಿಕಾರರ ಮಹಾಸಂಸ್ಥಾನ ಟ್ರಸ್ಟ್, and Bangalore City Sri Ayyappa Seva Samiti. He is Vice President of Karnataka Rajya Hallikarara Sangha, former President of Yuvaka Sangha, and former member of Rajya Dharmika Parishad Government of Karnataka. In recognition to his services in the cooperative societies field, he has been honored with prestigious Sahakara Ratna Award from Karnataka State Cooperative Federation and Government of Karnataka in the year 2022 by the Honorable Chief Minister of Karnataka, Shri Basavaraj Bommai sir. Sir, we are all proud and honored to be associated with you in CIMS family. I kindly request you to deliver the presidential address.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಭಿಕರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಕನ್ನಡ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ತೇನೆ. ನನ್ನ ಮಾತೃಭಾಷೆ ಕನ್ನಡ ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಚ್ಛವಾಗಿ ಮಾತನಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಆಸೀನರಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ತರಂಗ್ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜೀಸ್ ನ ಮುಖ್ಯಸ್ಥರಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಶ್ರೀಮಾನ್ ರಾಮ್ಕುಮಾರ್ ಅವರೇ, ಇಲ್ಲಿನ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಆಗುಹೋಗುಗಳನ್ನ ಬಹಳ ನಿಷ್ಠೆಯಿಂದ ಜಾಗರೂಕತೆಯಿಂದ ನೋಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತಾ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆಗೆ ಮೂಲ ಕಾರಣಕರ್ತರಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕಾರ್ಯದರ್ಶಿಗಳಾದ ಶ್ರೀಮಾನ್ ಚಿಕ್ಕಯ್ಯನವರೇ, ಇಂದಿನ ನಮ್ಮ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಬೆನ್ನೆಲುಬಾಗಿ ನಿಂತು ಇಂದು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾತಿನಿಧ್ಯವನ್ನ ತಂದುಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ನ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಶ್ರೀಮಾನ್ ಮಹೇಶ್ ಕುಮಾರ್ ಅವರೇ, ಮತ್ತು ಈಗ ತಾನೇ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭಿಸಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ MCA ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ನ ಪ್ರಮುಖ ಪ್ರಾಧ್ಯಾಪಕಿಯಾಗಿ ನೇಮಕವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಮಂಜುಳಾದ್ರವರೇ, ಮತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೆರೆದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿಭಾಗಗಳ ಅಧ್ಯಾಯರೇ, ಪ್ರಾಧ್ಯಾಪಕರೇ, ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ಗಳೇ, ಮತ್ತು ಈಗ ತಾನೇ ಈ ವರ್ಷ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭಿಸಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ MCA ಕೋರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಸೇರಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಹಿತವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನ ಶ್ರೀಮಾನ್ ರಾಮ್ಕುಮಾರ್ ಅವರು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಮಾತನಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಉದ್ಭವಿಸಿದ ಒಂದೆರಡು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಉತ್ತರವನ್ನು ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ನೀಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಕಾರಣ ಅವರ ಅನುಭವನೇ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಈ ರೀತಿ ತಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ ಧೈರ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಮಾತನಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾನು ಭಾವಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ನಮಗಾದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಅನುಭವವನ್ನು ಪಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೇವೆ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಮಾತ್ರ ನಮಗೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ಈ ತಾಂತ್ರಿಕ ವಿಷಯಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಮಾಹಿತಿಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ದೊರಕಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ನಮಗೆ ಸಮಯದ ಅಭಾವ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳದೆ ಹೋದ್ರು ಅಲ್ಲಿನ ಪ್ರಮುಖ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳ ಪರಿಚಯಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದ್ರ ಮೂಲಕ ಆಯಾ ವಿಭಾಗಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ಪಡೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ನಮಗೆ ಬಹಳ ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ಈ MCA ಪ್ರಾರಂಭಿಸಬೇಕು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಹಂಬಲ ಇತ್ತು. ಆದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಏನು ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತ MBA ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದರ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಗತಿ ಒಂದು ಸಮಾಧಾನಕರ ಮಟ್ಟವನ್ನು ಮುಟ್ಟಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ನಡೆಸ್ತಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ BCA, BBA ಹಾಗೂ BCom ಕೋರ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಸರಿಯಾದ ರೀತಿ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥಿತವಾಗಿ ನಡೆಯಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭವಾದ ಮೇಲೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾರ್ಯದರ್ಶಿಗಳು ನಾವು ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಈಗ ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಶಾಲೆಗಳಿರಬಹುದು, SSLC ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ಗಳಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಜೊತೆಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ನಾತಕೋತ್ತರ ಪದವಿ ವಿಭಾಗ ಕೂಡ ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಪಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಮಟ್ಟವನ್ನು ಮುಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ನಮಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಶಾಲೆಯ ಬಗೆಗೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಪರಿಚಯ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಗೋಚರವಾಗಿದೆ. ಆದ ಕಾರಣ ನಾವು ಈ ಬಾರಿ MCA ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಅದರ ಅನುಮತಿಯನ್ನ ನಮ್ಮ AICT ಬಹಳ ಶೀಘ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ನೀಡಿತು. 170 ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳ ಇಂಟೇಕ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಮಗೆ ಅಪ್ರೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ತು. ಆದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಹಾಗೂ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಸರ್ಕಾರಗಳು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ತಡ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವು. ಆದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಈಗಿನ ಸಚಿವರಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಶ್ರೀಮಂತ್ ಅಶ್ವತ್ಥ ನಾರಾಯಣರವರ ಕೃಪೆಯಿಂದಾಗಿ ನಮಗೆ 120 ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಅನುಮತಿ ನಮಗೆ ಕಾಲಕ್ಕೆ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಏಕೆಂದ್ರೆ CETಯ ಹಾಗೂ ಇನ್ನಿತರ ಈ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರವೇಶ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಗಳ ಎಲ್ಲ ಫಲಿತಾಂಶಗಳು ಹೊರಬಂದಿದ್ದಂತ ಕಾಲ ಅದು. ಈಗ ಆ ಒಂದು ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಟೀಮ್ಗಳಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು, 120 60 ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು CETಯನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಆಜ್ಞೆ ಇತ್ತು. ನಾವು ಇದು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭದ ಹಂತವಾದ್ದರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಇನ್ನೂ 30 ಸೀಟ್ಗಳನ್ನ CETನಲ್ಲಿ ಕಳಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ವಿ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ 90 ಸೀಟ್ಗಳು ಕೂಡ ತ್ವರಿತವಾಗಿ, ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ರೌಂಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಗಿದೋಯ್ತು ಅಂತ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ರೌಂಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ನಮ್ಮ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ನಾವು ಉಳಿದಂತ 30 ಸೀಟ್ಗಳು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮೂಲಕವೇ KMAT ಎಂಟ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪಿಯರ್ ಆದಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಆ 30 ಸೀಟು ಭರ್ತಿಯಾಗಿ ಇಂದು ತಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಾಗಿ ಆಯ್ಕೆಯಾಗಿದ್ದೀರಿ. ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ತಮ್ಮ ಭವಿಷ್ಯ ಹಾಗೂ ತಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದಿನ ಜೀವನ ಬಹಳ ಭವ್ಯವಾಗಿರಲಿ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಆಶೆಯನ್ನು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಪಡಿಸಿದ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ನಿಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಸರಿಯಾದ ರೀತಿಯ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾನು ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ತೇನೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಈ ದಿನ ನಮಗೆ ಇದರ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭವನ್ನ ಯಾರ ಕೈಲಿ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು? ನಮ್ಗಿಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಮೂಲಾಗಿ ತಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ಯಾರಾದರೂ ರಾಜಕಾರಣಿಗಳು ಸಚಿವರನ್ನು ಕರೀತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಅಥವಾ ಪೂಜ್ಯರಾದ ಮಠಾಧಿಪತಿಗಳನ್ನು ಕರೀತಕ್ಕಂತಹದ್ದು ಕೆಲವು ಕಡೆ ಅದು ವಾಡಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ನಮಗಾದ್ರೂ ಅದು ಅಷ್ಟು ಸರಿ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಮಗೆ ಉಪಯೋಗಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ, ನಮ್ಮದೇನಾದ್ರೂ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಪರಿಹಾರವನ್ನು ತಿಳಿಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಈ ಒಂದು ತಾಂತ್ರಿಕ ವಿಷಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಪರಿಣಿತರಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಒಬ್ಬರನ್ನು ಕರಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಪಡೆಯಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಆಸೆ ಪಟ್ಟು ಆ ಒಂದು ದಿಸೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ರಮೇಶ್ ಕುಮಾರ್ ಅವರು, ಮಹೇಶ್ ಕುಮಾರ್ ಅವರು ಹಾಗೂ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಮಮತಾರವರು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಂದು ಶ್ರೀ ರಾಮ್ಕುಮಾರ್ ಅವರನ್ನ ಆಹ್ವಾನಿಸಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಅವರು ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಇದ್ದು ಬಹಳ ಅರ್ಥಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ, ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನನ್ಗನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಸುಮಾರು ಒಂದು 30 ಅಥವಾ 40 ನಿಮಿಷಗಳ ಕಾಲ ಪ್ರಿಪರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಬಹಳ ಸಂತೋಷ ಆಯ್ತು. ನಾನು ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಜಕಾರಣಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳ ಜನವನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೆ. ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಈ ರೀತಿಯ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಿಪರೇಷನ್ ಮೂಲಕ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಭೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಹಾಜರಾಗ್ತಿದ್ದಂಥವ್ರನ್ನು ಒಬ್ಬರನ್ನ ನಾನು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೆ. ಅದು ಶ್ರೀಮಾನ್ ವೀರಪ್ಪ ಮೊಯ್ಲಿ ಅವರು. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಸಭೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಸಭೆ ಇರ್ಲಿ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸಭೆ ಇರ್ಲಿ, ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಹಿಮ್ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಲಿ ವೆಲ್. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಆ ವಿಷಯವನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೊರತಾಗಿ ಬೇರೆ ಏನನ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಥವಾ ಒಬ್ಬ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಥಿಂಕರ್, ಅದೇ ಒಂದು ಸಾಲಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿದಂತಹ ಶ್ರೀಮಾನ್ ರಾಮ್ಕುಮಾರ್ ಅವರು. ಮೊಯ್ಲಿಯವರ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ, ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಮೊಯ್ಲಿಯವ್ರು ನೆನೆಸ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಅವ್ರ ವಿಷಯ ಹೇಳಲೇಬೇಕು. ಇಡೀ ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ಸಮುದಾಯಕ್ಕೆ, ಬಡ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಮೊದಲಿನ ಸಹಾಯ ಹಸ್ತವನ್ನ 1990 ಸಾಲಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನೀಡಿದಂಥವರು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಆಗಿದ್ದಂತ ವೀರಪ್ಪ ಮೊಯ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಮಾತ್ರ. ಇಂದು ಲಕ್ಷಾಂತರ ಮಂದಿ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಗ್ರಾಜುಯೇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಗ್ರಾಜುಯೇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಡೆಂಟಲ್ ಗ್ರಾಜುಯೇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಗ್ರಾಜುಯೇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಬಡವರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ವೀರಪ್ಪ ಮೊಯ್ಲಿಯವರ ಕಾರಣ ಮಾತ್ರ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಹಿ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ದಿ ಸಿಇಟಿ ವೆರಿ ಬೋಲ್ಡ್ಲಿ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾವ ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳು ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದ್ರ ಮೂಲಕ ತಾವು ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೆಜಾರಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬೀನ್ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಸಿಇಟಿ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಲೈಕ್ ವೀರಪ್ಪ ಮೊಯ್ಲಿ. ಮತ್ತು ಇಂದು ಶ್ರೀಮಾನ್ ರಾಮ್ಕುಮಾರ್ ಅವರು ಬಂದು ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಒಂದು ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನು ತಿಳಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಭೆಯನ್ನು ಬಹಳ ಆಕರ್ಷಣೀಯವಾಗಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಫಲಪೂರಿತವಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ನಾನು ವೈಯಕ್ತಿಕವಾಗಿ ಹಾಗೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಒಂದು ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭಿಸಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಈ ಒಂದು MCA ಕೋರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ನೇಮಕವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಾಧ್ಯಾಪಕರುಗಳಿಗೂ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ಗಳಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ನನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕ ಆಹ್ವಾನವನ್ನ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಮುಂದಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪಾಠವನ್ನ ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಕೇಳಿ ನಮ್ಮ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಇದು ಮೊದಲನೇ ಬ್ಯಾಚ್ MCA 2 ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಈಗ ವಿಧಿಯನ್ನ ನಿರ್ಧರಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ ACT ಅವರು. ಈ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಬ್ಯಾಚ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು 100% ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ತಮ್ಮ ಪಾಠ ಪ್ರವಚನ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಆಸೆಯನ್ನು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಪಡಿಸ್ತಾ ನನಗೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತನಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ಟಂತಹ ಎಲ್ಲ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥಾಪಕರಿಗೂ ನಾನು ವಂದಿಸ್ತಾ ನನ್ನ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಮುಗಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
Thank you, sir. Now I request all MCA faculties for a photo session. I also request Mrs. Mamta, admission and the placement head, to join us. Thank you all. Now I call upon Dr. Manjula PS, Associate Professor, to propose a vote of thanks. Good afternoon to one and all present here. Respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, I, Dr. Manjula PS, the HOD of MCA department, and am immensely privileged to have gotten chance to propose the vote of thanks on this wonderful occasion. On behalf of Community Institute of Management Studies and the entire team, I extend a very hearty gratitude and thanks to Chief Guest for gracing this occasion on this day and sharing their invaluable insights from the extensive real-time experience with our students. A big thank to Mr. Ramkumar V, CEO and founder of Taranga Software Technology, for enlightening our student by sharing your opinion and experience amongst us. Thank you, sir. An immense gratitude to our beloved chairman, Mr. K.M. Nagaraj, Community Center of Group of Education Institution, for his continued support and guidelines in making this event a memorable one. Thank you, sir. I would also like to thank our secretary, Mr. Chikaya, Community Center Group of Education Institution, for his solid support and timely monitoring in every aspect as we grow. It is your words of appreciation that encourage us in all our efforts. Thank you, sir. My warmest gratitude to our Director Dr. Mahesh Kumar KR, Community Institute of Management Studies, whose constant ideologies and visualizations make any event a step further ahead to perfection. Thank you, sir. Behind a successful event, there is always an amazing team with spectrum of ideas and views that are correlated in making the event a grand success. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all my beloved colleagues in making this event a grand success. A warm extended thanks to our non-teaching staff for their enormous cooperation in organizing this event. I'd like to thank the whole troop of students for their dedication, support, and stewardship. It is your presence that encourages and motivates us to put our best step forward. Thank you, students. To- Today is just beginning of new start, leading us towards the brighter and amazing future of this new stream, Master in Computer Application. There is a wonderful saying by Abraham Lincoln: the best way to predict your future is to create it. On this occasion of Freshers' Day, I wholeheartedly welcome the new budding brains of MCA to our community family. All the very best for your amazing future ahead, students. You all have graced the occasion today with your presence. Thank you. Last but not the least, thank you to one and all for your presence, due to which the day has been a grand success. Thank you.